Hi guys, this is Trishul and you're watching Top Notch. We're here to look at the most unseen Desi celebrities all around the business world. And you'll be familiar with the products they make. Today, we have a very special guest with us. Teens, musicians, music lovers, gamers, and many more people will enjoy this company's creativity. Moss TV has the pleasure of introducing the founder of Audeze, Mr. Sankar sir. Let's start off with your childhood. We all know about your products. How was your childhood? How did you grow up?
I was born in Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu, and my school days went to a school called Kikani in Coimbatore. So I've lived in two places, once in Coimbatore and then in Los Angeles.
Okay.
So those are two places I've lived in most of my life. In Coimbatore, I was a normal childhood. Dad was in State Bank, mom was in telephones. So typical school, kid. And then I went to college in Coimbatore as well. In a college is called PSG College of Technology, Tech, in Coimbatore, and I studied electrical engineering there.
Okay.
So typical, normal stuff. There is nothing, super crazy that I did.
Oh. Okay. Well, how did that childhood make a pathway towards you creating this company?
When I was studying in PSG Tech, we had an entrepreneurship cell. So it's not as common as it is now. But even in those days, PSG Tech had an entrepreneurship cell where they used to encourage entrepreneurship. They had a lot of people who used to start companies, mostly pump set, electrical companies, things like that. And part of our college, we had to actually go there and work as an intern. And one of my internships was at Roots in Coimbatore. Roots is a company where they used to make horns. They export horns everywhere, and that was where I did my internship. And that actually, the founder of Roots, Mr. Ramasamy, had come back from Michigan and started this company, and that had a big impact. You could see a lot of other companies were started around Roots, and that I think was one of the main reasons. The other reason was when I came here, one of my classmates, Anand Chandrasekharan, he's a venture capitalist now. Immediately after college, he started a company in the area. So those two things initially was very interesting. And I think it's always, when your friends or people that you know started, then you also think, okay, maybe you can also start something. That was actually two of the reasons.
Okay. Nice. So, what brought you to the US? What brought you to
university? So I basically I studied in PSG Tech, and then I was doing. One of my classmates was studying for GRE. I started studying it also for GRE, and then I landed at USC in LA. So that's why I'm in LA probably. But when I came directly from Coimbatore to LA. That was my first trip outside India.
Oh, wow.
So landed here, and my focus was on multimedia and engineering. So most of my work was either in at those days it was mostly in 3D graphics and video cards. And I worked for a number of years designing video cards for digital cinema, video cards for video capture of from cameras.
Nice.
So I worked in some of the initial movies for digital cinema. So that's how I moved from. I started working in hardware.
Okay. So tell me, sir, how was Audeze born? Why headphones?
Yeah, our initial idea was not headphones. We wanted to make speakers. During when I came here to the US, I was volunteering for a charity called Shankar Foundation, and there's a hospital in Coimbatore where they do free eye surgeries for the poor. And my uncle had started a chapter here, so I was volunteering, making websites for them and marketing materials. Then we did a fundraiser, a couple of fundraisers, one with SPB and one with Hurricane at UCLA. So at this event, I met one of the other persons who helped me start Audeze. His name was Harshaduka, and he had a flexible PCB business. And these are printed circuit boards that you use inside PCs, cameras, everything. But these were flexible.
Okay.
And he has a factory here in Orange County where he was making these PCBs for everything from spaceships to drones. And for example, the Predator drones has one of the PCBs he makes that goes from one wingtip to the other wingtip. So, and he had part of it, he had created this material that was a very thin film that was very flexible but extremely strong as well. So this film was used for solar sails. So solar sails are materials, these are spacecraft that use radiation for propulsion, right? They don't use chemical or nuclear power, but they use actually solar and light to propel themselves. So they are extremely small spacecraft, but they have a big sail. So this material was created for that. So we thought maybe we could use this material to create speakers for focusing sound for long distances. So that was our first product. We didn't really know how to make that into a full product. So we then made a prototype headphone. And there is a big headphone enthusiast group called Headfi. They had a show in Los Angeles. So we took the headphones there, and a lot of people really wanted to hear it, and everybody went crazy. And by the end of the show, we had a huge line of people waiting to listen to the headphones. So we thought maybe there is something we should take this headphones seriously than the speakers. So we started making headphones, but we had no money, right? It was more or less a hobby at that time. So what we tried to see, and it was also very expensive to make because the thin film was expensive, and this is not something that you can easily outsource to China or something to make. So we were trying to figure out how to make this. So we started off making it on weekends and stuff. So that's how we started assembling it. But the plastic injection molding was very expensive to make. It was like $80,000 or something at the time. And as a hobby, you don't want to spend that much money to create something to see if it will even work. So we got a wood shop in Oxnard that would machine the wood rings for us.
Okay.
So then we didn't have to put so much money. We could just machine these wood rings and make one at a time. So we started selling them, and people would order them and wait for them. So that gave us enough cash flow to start the business. So that's how we started. And then soon we started having a cult-like following online. So people would wait for these headphones. So that's how we got started.
Oh, nice. It's been a long journey.
Yeah, it was more slowly as a hobby. Then we had a small shop in a strip mall kind of area. Then we started we moved into a proper office. Then we moved into this factory here.
That's what they say, right? All great ideas start in a garage.
Yes.
Same thing.
Same thing.
So tell me, throughout this journey, what are some of the milestones that you've hit that really stick out and stand out in your life? So
of all the things I have done, we have had the most fun in Audeze, right? In terms of things that surprisingly happen by chance, or it's all things sometimes fall in place. So one of the first things that happened was I actually had these headphones. We were getting some good response. At that time, I was working in digital cinema. I still had my full-time job. I was just doing this part-time. I was designing video cards for digital cinema, and I met Sendil from Real Image in Cube Cinema in India. So he introduced me to A.R.Rehman. And at that time, A.R.R. was here at Capitol Records mixing a song. So he heard somebody had designed this new headphone and he wanted to hear it. So I actually went to Capitol Records, and I was super nervous because it's just after he had won the Oscar. He was very, and we went in and I showed him the headphone. He really liked it. And he said, you should quit your job and do this full time. So that gave us enough confidence, because until that point, it was more or less a very we didn't take it too seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And then when A.R.R. comes in and says, okay, this is a good product, you should take this seriously, we said, okay, maybe we should now concentrate on figuring out how to make this go from here to the next step. So that that's when we started thinking about how do we scale this? What do we really, these headphones are bulky, big, how do we design these things in a proper way, not make it like it's made in a garage somewhere. So that's how we started slowly.
Oh, nice.
Hi, I'm Karthik Manivanan. I have known Shankar since my undergraduate days, and we are buddies from college. I've always known Shankar, as a very creative and outgoing person. He's also great at networking and bringing people together. And so it was not entirely surprising when he, after he finished his masters and after a few years, he started his own company, Audeze, and I'm really proud of where he's taken the company over the years. He has he's always full of ideas and has great vision. So I'm really looking forward to what the coming years take him. Bye.
So, sir, you definitely caught my ear when you said A.R.Rehman, sir. So, I'm a huge. He's my huge idol and an idol to many other kids and people my age. So, tell me a little bit about your experiences with him.
Not just for you, he's an idol for almost everybody.
Yeah,
in
definitely.
India. And I remember we were in 10th grade or 10th in India when we heard songs from Roja first, right? And in 11th and 12th, I remember still distinctly that people bringing his cassettes to school. So that it was Gentleman cassette or something that somebody brought to school. And, I think it's just things falling in place that I met him and this it gave me enough confidence to take the next step. He is one person who has consistently changed course, right? It's not like he does the same thing, he just keeps on doing new things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something that we all have to aspire. It's not like the music he did is different. He tries every single movie he does it.
Mm-hmm.
He tries something
different.
new. Yeah, he tried. He's making a VR movie now called Les Masques. It's amazing to see somebody who is at the top of his thing try something new.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's one thing that as a takeaway is like we have to keep on improving, changing things.
Yeah, he's been an inspiration for many generations
Mm-hmm.
for past many years now, and hope I'll get an interview of him one day too.
Yeah. And that's the good part with A.R.R, right? He has introduced so many people into the industry, and he is super accessible as well. If I think Sri Ram said he actually emailed him a YouTube video and he replied, right? So you should try emailing him.
Yes,
So
definitely.
that's probably the easiest one.
Yeah. So we've talked technical for a while now. So let's just relax and have fun. And tell me, what type of music do you listen to? What type of music
I
do you
listen
enjoy?
to all types of music. I have had the good fortune of actually also being live in many recordings now because we did some microphone testing and stuff. Last week for a headphone we are introducing, we had Martin Chalford, the concert master from LA Philharmonic, come in and play a piece of Mozart.
Oh wow.
And it's just amazing to see him. He plays on a Stradivarius. So it's amazing to see actually some of these things close by.
Mm-hmm.
I have been fortunate enough to be in front rows for a Stevie Wonder concert and Imagine Dragons. So with Odyssey, we have been able to try, get to some of these things.
Yes, definitely. Do you sing? Play any instruments? Play
No,
any music?
Unfortunately, I think I do not have any singing or musical. I can't play anything.
Oh, wow.
I think in my family, my parents, my grandfather was a music teacher, my aunt, my mom, my brother, everybody sings. I think I am musically challenged. So.
No, you've created such a amazing line of headphones, and there's no way you could be musically challenged.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of singing and
Yeah,
stuff, I can't perform. I can listen to music all day. It's therapeutic to listen to music, and I can listen to it all day. But it's I can't play anything.
I love my daddy a lot. We play games together. We sing Disney songs in the car together. We bike to Yogurtland to get our favorite flavors of ice cream. My dad makes the delicious pancake in the world.
What are some really fun or even tough moments that you've been through throughout this journey?
I'll start with the fun first.
Okay.
I mean, as I said, in Audeze we have had a lot of things that happened unexpectedly. In 2013 or something, when we were very small at that time. One day we got a call for reviews. At the time we used to get phone calls, and once we got a call from Playboy magazine of all things. And we initially thought it was some scam, right? It's somebody calling us, and it was actually Playboy who called us and said, we want to actually put a review of your headphones. And I didn't even know that Playboy actually had technical reviews of things like that, but apparently they did. So then immediately once we realized it, and everybody in the office was like, okay, who gets to drop off the headphones, because it's going to the Playboy office, right? So there was a big commotion. Everybody was like, and then they said, no, sorry, you just have to ship the headphones. So we actually shipped the headphones, and the headphones were featured in the Playboy magazine in one of the editions. So then I actually said, okay, now it's in the Playboy magazine, right? So I have to actually go get the magazine to see now. When at those days we had magazine stands where you used to get magazines. So I went there to the magazine stand, and they said, okay, it's in the October edition of your Playboy. So I said to the magazine guy, can I have 3 copies of this magazine? And he says, what, you want 3 copies of the same magazine? I said, yeah. And it said college something, and this guy was looking at me really weirdly when I got 3 copies of the Playboy magazine, but I brought one so that we can have one in the office and one in if we still keep it under closed doors, but if you take the October edition of Playboy, you will see our headphones there. So that was one thing that happened. Then one day, I mean, this was last year, just before the pandemic hit. One day, early in the morning, my phone was going ding ding ding, and like the Twitter messages were coming. I thought that there is some, why is it coming at 5 a.m.? So I take it up and I see it. It says there's a tweet from people saying there's a video of Elon Musk wearing your headphones. We were like, okay, this has to be some picture of somebody photoshopping something. So I go there and I look at it. Elon Musk actually released a song. And he was using our headphones in the video, and he was jumping up and down, and he actually tweeted the video as well. It was very funny to see, but at the same time, it was enormous amount of publicity that we got. And it blew up, and that day we got something like 70,000 hits on our webpage or something, just from one tweet. And it's sometimes we do not know who buys our headphones and stuff, and it's very surprisingly things turn out. We also have sometimes, I think I mentioned earlier, we have like a cult-like following. People get our headphones. I've seen people move to tears listening to music through our headphones, but some people actually take it up even a notch further. We actually have 3 or 4 people who actually have tattoos of our headphones, and I mean it's sometimes unnerving to see how much people like these things, because I never thought that we would be able to make an impact like this. So those are some of those things.
It would have been totally unexpected.
Totally.
So, sir, from your childhood, did you ever expect to be such a big company here now?
No, I never thought of entrepreneurship till I went to college, because most of our family, everybody was either a teacher or a banker and stuff like that. So I did not have anybody in the close family who had started a business. My dad dabbled something. But once when I went to college, I realized there was this entrepreneurship was an opportunity. Entrepreneurship was an option. In my house, we had a Sony, or I think Akai boombox. Those came with the tape recorder. That was the first thing that we had in our house. We didn't have any big speakers either, stereo system. And then we used to, at those days, it was tape recorders. And the first CD player I got was actually in the US. When I was here, I think I got a Sony Walkman. And then I bought an iPod. That was my So iPod was probably in late 2003 or 2004. So then I had a Sennheiser headphone for a while. So that's how.
Okay. So how was your what was your family's response like when you started up a business here in the US, and even now when you're at such a high level, how do they feel?
I don't know about high level, but in terms of switching over, because when I was here initially, I was earning good money designing video cards and stuff. Switching to something full time was always a little bit scary, because it was always like first generation entrepreneur, right? So it's always, when we make the switch, it was a little bit scary, but then once we made the switch, the other advantage I had was my wife was working. So we knew, okay, even if we thought about it, so we could try this. If it doesn't work, I could still go get a job, and people probably would value me more for doing something like this and starting a company. So we said, okay, there's not much downside doing this, right? So there is only upside if it works out. So we said, okay, let's just try this. I think my parents are probably pretty happy, because they sometimes see these news clips and stuff. And when I went to Coimbatore last time, they actually had an article about our Mobius headphones in the Hindu newspaper. Oh. So they actually, it was just pure coincidence. I had no idea, but it was there, so they were very happy. And my wife is super supportive, because I tend to, before the COVID, I used to travel quite a bit. And with kids, it's difficult. She has a full-time job, but she has been super supportive, and that's part of the reason I could make the transition.
Where do you see Audeze in the future?
So one of the things that we want to do is to cool products, right? We want to do things that other companies, do not do, or it's harder for them. So we want to make very innovative products. So
stand out in the crowd.
Yes, stand out in the crowd, and we have a super strong R&D pipeline. We have several people here. Karthik is a professor at Texas A&M. Drag has 40 years of experience designing Rehman speakers. So we have a very strong product pipeline. So what we want to do is to do cool, innovative products. For example, the Mobius, when we introduced it in 2017, had an accelerometer, a gyroscope. It could track head movements to create 3D audio. We are now working on a noise cancellation product with neural network chipsets, artificial intelligence chipset that can discern the difference between what is voice and what is noise. So we will always try something new things. Whether they succeed in the market or not, it's different. But we want to try to make the coolest products in the market.
What advice would you give young entrepreneurs trying to start up their own company, their own business?
Perseverance, right? You just need to keep trying. I think it's the only thing that eventually, I've seen people try different things and lose hope quickly. But I think in the long run, perseverance is what wins.
Thank you so much, Sankar sir, for your time. I've really enjoyed this conversation with you, and you've really inspired me, and I've learned a lot from this. And from Mas TV's behalf, thank you so much.
Thank you, Trishul. And thank you, Trishul and Mas TV, for coming here. It has been a pleasure.
Until then, this is Trishul signing off. Peace.